Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul the Nitro Skyrus, and welcome to this edition of the Delaware Pro Wrestling Report. I decided to do this 2 days early because there are two cards that are going to be held tonight for the ECWA as well as 302 Pro Wrestling. And I believe DCW, no, that's next weekend. So on this episode, I'll look at those cards for tonight for 302 Pro Wrestling and for ECWA. Plus, I'll have some DCW news and an update on 1CW. And I'll talk about Rampage Pro Wrestling's Winter War coming next Friday night, and how and I will also tell you about a post-game report that will happen the very next day right here on this channel. Also, trivia time answers and more here on the Delaware Pro Wrestling Report. So let's begin. We'll start first with 302 Pro Wrestling. Big TV taping tonight for their Facebook TV. It'll happen tonight at 6 p.m. at the Delaware Auto Exchange in Felton, Delaware. Now, tickets are half off for the following. This is an exclusive offer for the following. Tickets half off if you show ID from these, if you work or are military. Dover Air Force Base with military ID, you get tickets half off. Delaware State employees, half off ticket prices for tonight if you have your ID. Delaware State Police, show your ID, you get half off as well. The University of Delaware students with a student ID, you get half off. These are just for students. And for the Delaware Tech Terry campus, students only with your student ID, half off for this card for tonight. Now, let me go over the lineup of some of the matches that will be there for the TV taping tonight. You'll see Casey Carlisle battle Sammy Pandora. You'll see a Fight Live title match, and it will be a ladder match as Franco Varga will meet Travis Banks. Joe Kerr will battle Ty Awesome in a match that you, the fans, demanded. An I Quit match. First person to say I quit loses the match. Louis G. Rich will battle the Heart Killer, Chris Weil. And then the 302 heavyweight title will be on the line as Kiko, the Hawaiian Warrior, will battle Kindred. That's 302 Pro Wrestling TV taping tonight at the Delaware Auto Exchange. 6 p.m. is the start time. Remember, tickets half off with ID for the following places. Dover Air Force Base with military ID for those of you in the military, half off. Delaware State employees with your Del State employee ID badge, you'll get half off tickets. Delaware State Police with your ID, half off. University of Delaware students with their student ID, half off. And the Del Tech Terry campus students with your Del Tech student ID, half off. That's 302 Pro Wrestling tonight at the Delaware Auto Exchange. Now, also, the ECWA in Woodbury Heights, New Jersey will be tonight. I'll get to the card in just a moment, but ECWA suffered a loss as Chris Abrams, a hardworking and dedicated person behind the scenes at the ECWA, recently passed away. Our condolences to his family at this time. And it was announced by the ECWA that the Fan Appreciation Night coming in August of next year will be renamed the Christopher Abrams Memorial Show. So that's an awesome gesture from the ECWA. Now tonight, their Toys for Tots event at the Woodbury Heights, New Jersey Community Center, 7 p.m. is the start time. You will see the ECWA title on the line in the main event. The Hybrid, Sean Carr, will battle Azrael. Pancorp Agency will battle the Extreme Rednecks for the ECWA Tag Team titles. Women's title on the line, Deonna Purrazzo will battle Karen Q in a rematch from the Super Chick Fight tournament. The Super 8 Chick Fight tournament from last time. Number one contenders match for the Mid-Atlantic title. The winner will be the number one contender for the Mid-Atlantic Championship. It will be a fatal four-way match as Craven Varro will battle the Colossal Mike Law versus Zombie King versus Johnny Galindo. Plus, Breaker Morant will battle Howie Timberche, and Mr. Ooh La La will open up the show against Dave Reed. That's tonight, the Toys for Tots event at the Woodbury Heights Community Center in Woodbury Heights, New Jersey. 7 o'clock is the start time. For more information about tickets or for the card itself, go to ecwawrestling.com. And those two cards, 302 Pro Wrestling and the ECWA, are tonight. Make sure you go out and see them. It's going to be a great night. Now, moving on to DCW. Next Saturday night, Toys for Tots event. Titles, ladders, and Toys for Tots. 2 matches added on for that event. Next Saturday night, a Stairway to Glory match. Omega Phoenix, Joe Kerr, Travis Banks, Mr. Ooh La La, and a final entrant determined earlier in the night will battle out in a Stairway to Glory match. Ladder in the ring, contract at the top, good for any DCW title match within 1 year. And in that qualifying match, also signed the qualifying match, the Heart Killer Chris Weil will take on Raymond Dogger. And that's on top of all the other great bouts at the Titles, Ladders, and Toys for Tots event at the Milford Community Center on next Saturday night at 7 p.m. at the Milford Community Center. December 10th is the date. That's your DCW news for this month. Now, let's talk about 1CW. Unfortunately, due to an illness to one of the owners of Atlantic Pro Wrestling, Dino Bonello, the Kim Cup 2 card scheduled for next Saturday night has been canceled. However, Sean Hardy, once again hard at work, made 2 announcements. First, he will reschedule the Kim Cup 2 for January. I'll have more information about that as soon as I get it, probably for the next episode of the Delaware Pro Wrestling Report also. But the second announcement, next Saturday at the Salty Wave in Harrington, Delaware, 3 to 5 p.m. will be an autograph session featuring Kiko, the Warrior King, Sammy Pandora, Crazy Eric Shea, Big Mike in the house as well, and there will be a special live episode of the Exposed Truth podcast with Sean Hardy as their guest. That will be at the Salty Wave at Harrington, Delaware, 3 to 5 p.m. next Saturday afternoon. And that's your 1CW report for this month. Now, let's move on to Rampage Pro Wrestling. I will be there myself live on this Friday night, December 9th at the Agricultural Museum. Crazy Shay will be there. You will see Grey Wolf go one-on-one with the hybrid Sean Carr. These are some of the matches that are signed. Grey Wolf versus the hybrid Sean Carr. The Riot City Squad will battle the Coalition. Sinister X will battle Muddy Waters and a mystery opponent in a triple threat match for the Rampage Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. The first Rampage Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title. Now, originally it's supposed to have been a fatal 4-way, but Robbie E., formerly of TNA, had another commitment in another country, as he put on Facebook this past week, and will not make it to the show. But it will now be a triple threat match. Muddy Waters versus Sinister X versus a mystery opponent for the first ever RPW Championship. Also, the Open Challenge Championship will be determined. John Malloy, the title collector himself, John Malloy, will be a part of this event. The bearded evil one, John Malloy. We'll find out later on, probably that night, who else will be competing for it. Plus, it seems like now the war between Sean Hardy and Jay Cortez is heating up like never before. That's why Jay Cortez has brought in someone that could be an enforcer to Sean Hardy, and that is from Ring of Honor, Brutal Bob Evans. That's right, the brutal one. Bob Evans will be in Dover for Winter War at the Agricultural Museum this Friday night. And you can bet the war between Jay Cortez and Sean Hardy is going to get more heated over this Winter War coming up this Friday night. I will personally be there on the 9th, and then the next day, on the 10th, a special edition of the Delaware Pro Wrestling Report, the Rampage Pro Wrestling Post-Game Report, courtesy of yours truly. So there are still tickets still available. Just go to Facebook, Type in Rampage Pro Wrestling and you'll get all the details as far as tickets go for this event. Come on, and come all to the Winter War, December 9th, Rampage Pro Wrestling returning to Delaware at the Agricultural Museum, the Big Red Barn, right at the intersection where Home Depot's at on Route 13, just right across from Home Depot. And that's your Rampage Pro Wrestling report for this month. Moving on now, it's time for our Trivia Time answers to the Trivia Time questions. So let's get right into it. First off, I want to congratulate once again the Jazz Man, Jeffrey Jazz Kivett, for answering both questions correct for the Trivia Time answers. Here we go. True or false? Pat Patterson was the first Intercontinental Champion to be a guest ref for a WWF title match. The answer is true, and it happened. It happened in February of 1980 at Madison Square Garden as Bob Backlund defended his title against Ken Patera with Pat Patterson as the guest referee. 2 months later, Ken Patera would beat Pat Patterson for the first title change of the Intercontinental title. Trivia time question number 2. How long was Vince McMahon's reign as WWE champ in 1999? The answer is 1 week. That's right, 1 week. Vince McMahon had to surrender the championship because he was the owner of the WWE. And, of course, we all know what happened next. The Big Show won a triple threat match to win the WWE title at the Survivor Series 1999. Well, we're just about out of time here for the Delaware Pro Wrestling Report. Don't forget, next Saturday, a special edition of Delaware Pro Wrestling Report. I will have the Rampage Pro Wrestling post-game report. And then the next regular episode of the Delaware Pro Wrestling Report will be on December 30th. It will be our year in review. I'll have the top 10 moments this year in wrestling of the state of Delaware, and I will name my Delaware Pro Wrestling Report Wrestler of the Year. Until next time, I'll see you fans for Rampage Pro Wrestling's Winter War this Friday night. And until next time, I'm Paul the Nitro Skyver saying, so long everybody.